Here are 15 quick tips about Elixir Collector. Tip number 1. It is a good idea to use Elixir Collector and Sparky in the same deck. If your opponent rockets your Elixir Collector, your opponent cannot rocket your Sparky. Tip number 2. If your opponent rockets your Sparky, then your opponent will not be able to rocket your Elixir Collector. Tip number 3. If you really don't want your opponent to rocket your Elixir Collector, place it in front of the King Tower. Your opponent cannot rocket your tower and Elixir Collector with the same rocket. Tip number 4. A princess cannot take down your Elixir Collector if you place it right in front of the King Tower. Tip number 5. You can place your miner on the tower and poison the Elixir Collector. Your opponent would probably think you're gonna place the miner on the Elixir Collector and place some troops on the Elixir Collector, and the poison is just gonna take that out. Tip number 6. The log can deny 2 elixir from generating in the Elixir Collector. This can be worth it if you can clip some other troops with the log. Tip number 7. If you place your Elixir Collector in the corner like shown on the right, a miner can only be placed on the 2 sides of it. If you place your Elixir Collector next to the King Tower, a miner can be placed behind it, which makes it so that your opponent cannot predict where your miner is going. Tip number 8. If your opponent plants an Elixir Collector in front of the King Tower, you can take it down with a mortar or an X-bow. Tip number 9. It is not worth it for a lightning to only take down a tower in the Elixir Collector, so place a hog rider to lure out some more troops. This way your lightning can clip 3 items, which will make more value. Tip number 10. If your opponent rushes your tower with a hog rider, do not plant your troops near the Elixir Collector. This way your opponent cannot clip your Elixir Collector tower and the troop with a single poison or lightning. Tip number 11. Don't place an Elixir Collector at the start of a battle or when you're low on Elixir, because your opponent can rush your tower, and so only place your Elixir Collector when you know your opponent can't rush your tower. Tip number 12. It is a good idea to use Elixir Collector and the 3 Musketeers in the same deck. If your opponent fireballs your Elixir Collector, then your opponent can't fireball your 3 Musketeers. Tip number 13. Do not use the Elixir Collector to defend against an attack, unless you absolutely have to. Tip number 14. Place your Elixir Collector behind the tower with the most hit points. This way it is harder for your opponent to rush your tower, take down the tower, and damage your Elixir Collector. And lastly, tip 15. If your opponent places the Elixir Collector in front of the King Tower, a flying machine can easily take it down. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends that play Clash Royale. Also, I have an account that is level 1 with 4,300 trophies. Be sure to check that out. But until next time, this has been Charlie, peace out.